Welcome back to AgriTalk at the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky. Joining us again is Harold Workman, President and CEO for the Kentucky Exposition Center. Well, you have to be feeling good. Day number 3, and the crowds just keep turning out.
They do. It's been a great week so far, and we know it's going to end that way also. The weather's been wonderful. Couldn't be better. I think everybody's really enjoyed the opportunity to get out, just get away from wherever they were and come in here and see what they like, all this equipment.
We always assume the crowd will build as the week goes along and you get to the weekend. Wasn't sure that could happen after the huge crowd on Wednesday. I thought, how are you going to build on that? But that's what's been happening.
Absolutely. You can always count on as it further it goes in the week, the crowd's getting bigger. Wednesday was a huge day, probably the biggest Wednesday we've ever had. But Thursday was larger, and we know today will be bigger than that. And Saturday will, of course, be the real big one. So it's going well.
And beyond just numbers, you see a little change in the crowd as you get towards the weekend, don't you?
Well, you do. The first 2 days are similar. A lot of, and I've talked to folks about that this morning, it's kind of the drive-in group who can, get in their truck or car and come in, spend the day, and go back home, even though a lot of them stay. But then when you get into Friday and Saturday, you get those who are coming in to stay that are a little further away, and they want to spend some time here and not only see the show but go to the tractor pull.
Do most of the people that go to the tractor pull also attend the show, or do you get people that just come for the tractor pull?
Well, you get some that will come just for the tractor pull that might be local, but the vast majority are those who have a connection to this show, who want to be here for the equipment and also go to the pull. So they may come for the pull, but they also plan on seeing what's in this show.
The two work very well hand in hand. Now, a show like this that's so established and you're sold out and you have a waiting list of exhibitors and you're not really making any building changes right now, I mean, how do you look at next year's show? Do you think about a lot of changes, or do you just try to fine-tune here and there?
No, you just try to fine-tune. We got a great set of exhibitors, and the one thing you have to be sure of each and every year is that you listen to your exhibitors, you don't take them for granted. You try to make some of the changes they think is important, and if you can do that, then obviously they'll be happy, and even though they want more space, they can be happy with the space they do have.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them would like more space, but I think the thing they're most happy about is the number of people coming through their exhibit.
Well, that cures a lot of ills, doesn't it? When you can run a lot of people in front of them. Like I say, we'll run them in front of you. If you can't sell it, then it must be something they don't want.
That's right. So you come in saying around 300,000. I would think maybe you'll top that this year.
I'd say there's a good chance of it. We've toyed with 300,000, a little over for quite a few years. Last year we were just a little under, and that was primarily because of Wednesday. The year before we're a little over. So I think that there won't be any doubt that we'll be over the 300,000 attendance this year.
I'm always amazed at how quickly you can get this set up and how quickly you can tear down and people move on.
Yeah, this show will end at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah, all this equipment in the 1.2 million square feet of space will be gone by Tuesday at noon, and we'll be moving the next event in, which will open a week from today, as a matter of fact.
One ends, another one begins. I'm never here on Saturday, so kind of give us an idea how the turnout usually is and what things look like on Saturday.
Well, if you think the crowds are big on Friday, you need to be here Saturday, because it is really massive crowds on Saturday. And not only do you still have all the agriculture people here who farm, but you get the urbanites and the people who live in Louisville. It's a weekend, and they'll come out and bring the kids, and some of them spend money, some don't. You never know, but it's a huge crowd, which is the reason we have a Saturday afternoon pull, a 1 o'clock pull, and of course the nighttime finals. So it really is a big crowd Saturday.
And the thing about this show, the diversity of it, there are things here that would be of interest to non-farmers. I mean, whether it's toys or some of the family living areas that they can go to, there are things for everybody.
There are, and everyone doesn't have to have this big combine like they're sitting beside us. They can go to the family living center, as you said. There's some small equipment that may work for them in their backyard garden. A lot of people are into gardening again, and you'd be surprised how many people have a few plants in the backyard these days, and we hope it's tomatoes and not something else, of course.
That's right. How many people do you have on staff that work this show?
Well, we have a full-time staff here of at this particular facility of about 220 or 30, and all of them are involved with this show in some way. Now, the planning staff is only about a dozen people that handle it throughout the year, but when we open the doors, everybody's involved.
Well, you take great care of us, and you do a wonderful job putting on this show. Thank you very much. Good to see you again. We'll see you next year.
It's always good to have you here, and we do look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Harold. Harold Workman, President and CEO of the Kentucky Exposition Center. So a wildly successful show. I mean, this show does draw big crowds every year, but this year is just amazing with the combination, I think, of good weather and also good commodity prices really helping, and people are really turning out. We are at the Gleaner Combine display. We'll be talking more about that as we go along here on our program. That's coming up next. Stay with us. This is AgriTalk.